This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Any questions, doubts before we start? No questions? Okay. I've downloaded certain documentation. Let me show them today. So this is a sample blueprint document, but normally you get blueprints on the Google also. It is the similar thing. You will not find any differences on the blueprint document. The one that I'm showing to you now and the one that you get on the Google will be the same, will be the similar. You don't find any changes on the blueprint documents. Okay, similarly you will find logos, all these kind of a things, document information, author, draft, approvals, who are the approval persons, on what date it is approved, physical signature of the approval, and table of content, all the processes that are related to the business, GL, AP, AR, everything will be listed. And like this, you will have all the information listed out, org structure, everything. Similar document, or there are a lot of documents, sample business blueprints or solution design documents that you can find on the Google. It will be the similar document on any project. There will be no much changes. If you understand it, the format and all, it will be the same. Next to one, I'll share all these documents.
Ajay, this is Arya. Can you talk a little bit on table mapping?
I'll come to one by one. Which table
And
mapping
I
you're
just
talking about?
want,
On the blueprint?
there is like you know, uh, I saw you can map the tables um I don't know for what is the purpose behind this. They joining the tables. I think for the reporting purpose or something.
That's a different point. That I'll show separately. That's a different functionality. In SA16, you will find an
Huh.
option to join the table to extract the data.
Yeah, and I just wanted to know, like, for the implementation project, like, how much the period you can say, like, how much, like, 6 month, 1 year, how
It
much
is
period
minimum
you took?
6 months.
Minimum six
Minimum
months,
6 months. Yeah. You can go
even
for
for the
1 year, 2 year, 3 year also.
and for the brownfield too.
Yes. Depends on number of company codes that they have, number of countries that they have. All the points together. It starts with minimum of a 6 month.
Okay, and for the rollout project, what changes? I said like means what changes currency if the rollout is in another country, I will say maybe currency change or fiscal year change. What kind of like what's the procedure in the rollout project?
You will be
What?
taking the global template. We call something as global template, which means the common business process across all the countries of your organization.
Hmm.
These global parameters will remain same. It's only the assignment activity.
You recording
Wherever
this
there are,
session? Ajay, you recording this session?
yes, recording.
Okay. Ah, okay. Yes. Yes.
Now, for the
And that
rollout,
how
all the country specific things will be configured separately, but apart from country specific, remaining activities will remain constant. Whatever is decided at the group level, the same group level business process is adopted, is applicable for all your countries because it's the key business process. It will not be changed.
and it will be how much period time we can say like how much time it took for the rollout?
Same 6 months only. On an average, every project will go for 6 months.
So this in the rollout, the config and everything, it will be as it is. You can take it.
Yes, as it is, we will take. Client will tell us
Oh,
if there are any changes, if there are any different processes in that particular country. Only those things we will consider. Otherwise, the standard process which is implemented for the reference company code, they'll give you. Let's say we are implementing for Singapore, but we are already operating in India, Dubai, and Saudi, US, and all. They will tell this is Singapore business process is similar to Malaysian business process. So there may be a company code already created in Malaysia. Whatever the
mm,
business process that they're using in Malaysia, they will tell that it's the similar process. Then you are going to take the Malaysian company code as reference. Taking Malaysian company code as reference, you will be doing the setup for Singapore company code. Whenever you are doing any rollout, you will have a reference company code.
Uh,
okay.
Ajay, I am Loknath here.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, the rollout project, if it is a similar nature of business, the rollout is applicable, or if even if it is different nature of business, the rollout is applicable.
Even if it is different, rollout is applicable, but it is part of the same, right? So even though you're doing a different business process, but these two
Okay,
companies are falling under same group, your global
okay,
parameters will remain constant. Like your chart
okay,
of
okay, okay.
account, fiscal year, ledgers, all these parameters will remain constant. Wherever there are changes, wherever there are new functionalities in the new company code, in the rollout company code, that client will anyways tell us.
Yeah, thank you, Ajay. Got it.
Okay, let's go through these documents once, and then we will discuss any queries at the end.
Sure,
So,
sure. Yeah.
okay. So this is the sample
Okay.
blueprint document that we looked at. So as I said, it is a similar document that you find even on the Google. So nothing new that you will find a blueprint document here, nothing new that you will find a blueprint document in a project. It is more or less the similar. So you'll not find any changes, you'll not find any differences. You can download a lot of samples will be there on the Google if you search SAP FICO blueprint. You can download and go through this. Okay, even in real time, it is the same. You will find everything and you'll find the company definition of it, but you will not find like this path T code and all. Exclude the path T code screenshots, but you will find the other information. I'll find some other most relevant and then I'll share that business blueprint also shortly, maybe in a day or two. But this also you can refer. This is also similar one. I took this because it has got less number of pages. The intention is only to make sure that you understand how a blueprint looks like. This is how it looks like. Inside the content, everything will be the same. If you're talking about this, let's say you're talking about credit control area. You're going to mention credit control area. You're only going to replace this. Everything else will remain same. And here, wherever you find the previous client, let's say this is Tata Steel, you will replace the Tata Steel logo with your client logo. And this is DCHS Infotech, let's say this is the implementing company. The format, everything remains exactly the same. It's only the editing part you will be doing. As simple as like when you work in your MBA and all, we all will have something called project. Nobody will create the project from the scratch. You will take your previous batch or your senior project and then you will be editing it. You will be changing the names, numbers, and all the information. Most of the content will remain the same because it is the same topic. Whatever the changes that are applicable, to that extent, you are going to amend the document. Here also, it is the same. The client specific information will be amended. Otherwise, it is all the generic information related to SAP FICO. Okay, so after blueprint, let me show you some KDS. Now you'll have something called KDS sample. If I open this KDS sample document, this is how you'll have KDS sample. This is a simple Excel sheet document. You will find the country for which you're implementing. Let's say you're implementing for India. I'll put India here. Product. Yesterday we discussed product is nothing but, I think in the other session, what is your profit center or how many line of businesses that you have, that you are going to list product here. If it is applicable, you will put, if not, you will leave it blank. And company code, what is the company code that you are going to create? Let's say I'll create 1000 as my company code. What is the name of company code? I'll put 1000 as company code, name of company code. Let's say Sample India Private Limited. Column 1, column 2, if you have any other information like address or any other comments, you can update in the further columns. Similarly, profit center. Let's say how many profit centers do you have? This is related to country India. Product, what is this profit center related to? Let's say in India you have multiple this one. So you're going to have profit center if you have 3. I'll say this is product 1, product 2, product 3. All this related to India. I'll put, let's say, profit center 1, profit center 2, profit center 3. Description of the profit center, whatever it is, which is pre-agreed by the client. Similarly, cost center, how many cost centers you have? You need, if you have 20 cost centers, you will be mentioning 20 rows here. Each cost center, name of the cost center, in short, code of the cost center, description of the cost center. And the other thing is related to business area, plant, purchase organization, sales organization, credit control, distribution. These are all related to MM and SD area. Similarly, related to PP and all, you will put. Majority from your side, what we are going to put is this information. And apart from this information, we are going to maintain something called baseline configuration, one document. Your baseline configuration document, either we can create a separate document wherein you will be mentioning different columns or different sheets, company code, chart of account, all the information related to chart of account, what is the chart of account code, GL account length, and your account groups, naming a convention for the account group, number range for the account group. All those things we will be mentioning in a separate, because that is not a common document. That's a document which will elaborate your chart of account information. But in this, you can put chart of account. In this, you can write chart of accounts. You can put chart of account, code of the chart of account, description of the chart of account. That's it. Because this is the common document which is accessed, which is viewed by all the project team, which means your FI consultant, CO consultant, MMSD, PP, all other consultants will look at this. Let's say you're working on FICO configuration. For some reason, you want to know how many plants are we having, or how many sales organizations we are having, or any other information. If you need any other information, every time it is not correct, it is not relevant, that you are dependent on the other module consultant. Let's say to know how many plants are we creating, what is the plant code, what is the plant name, where is this plant, what is the address of this plant. Every time you're not supposed to depend on the consultant to provide the data. Similarly, on the SD consultant, or the vice versa, the SD consultant should not depend on you to find out what is our chart of account, what is the account group for this. All this information is updated in this document called KDS. This documentation will be placed, let's say a share folder will be created in every project. You will find a share folder. In that share folder, we will be creating different folders, subfolders, like FI1 folder, CO1 folder, MM1 folder, SD1 folder. Likewise, whatever the modules that you are implementing. For example, in this I'll add one folder. Let's say I'll put project SAP implementation, something like this. Whatever the project that you have, for every project there will be a name. For every project there will be a name. That project name they'll put, and inside this they'll create different subfolders. Let's say maybe they'll put something like BBP, business blueprints, and I'll create another folder called put KDS. I'll put another folder, configs. I'll put another folder, let's say UT, UOT, and I'll put user manuals. I'll put roles, something like this. Different folders we will be creating. Let's say if you go inside the business blueprint, and here I'm going to again create separate model, separate this one. I'll create FI, I'll create CO, I'll create MM, I'll create SD, and different other models we will be creating. If you are working on the project as a FICO consultant, your business blueprint, let's say you have created, let's say 6 versions: initial draft, version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the version business blueprints must be inside your FI folder in the business blueprint. And the BBP, inside the FI folder, you must update all the 6 versions of your business blueprint documents. And at the end, you should also include the email of your BBP sign off. So finally, at one stage, your business blueprint will be signed off or will be confirmed by the client. Once the business blueprint is signed off or confirmed by the client, you will receive an email confirmation that we are okay with the business blueprint. This BBP sign off email also you have to attach or you have to place in this particular folder, because your project manager cannot ask you every time, send me this document, send me that document, is this revised document and all. So instead, we will create for every project, there will be a common share folder created. For this folder, only the project team will have the access. Let's say I'm a FICO consultant, you are a ABAP consultant, the other one is SDMM. Only this project team members will have access to this documentation. Other people from that project or from that organization will not have access to open this, because this is a confidential document, client related confidential document. Others are not supposed to view these documents, and you are also not supposed to share this document with anybody. Even when you join any organization, strictly it is not recommended that these documents will go out. So you have to maintain that confidentiality. There is something called NDA agreement, non-disclosure agreement with the client, that their data is not taken outside, or they'll not share the information with anybody else. Like this, there will be a folder created. In that particular project related folder, only the project team will have the access. Inside the folder, you will create different subfolder. Let's say you're talking about configurations. Inside the configuration, again the same. I'll copy this and config, I'll put this. Again, here we are responsible for FI configuration document you need to attach in FI. CO configuration document you need to attach in CO. Anything related to configuration, let's say you are creating any functional specification whatsoever, any documentation that you are creating which is related to config, you need to place in your respective folder. Go back. Similarly, KDS. KDS is not module specific. KDS is a common document, because if I open one Excel sheet of my KDS, I must be in a position to understand what is the basic org structure of the project or of the client. How many company codes we have, what is the chart of account, fiscal year, profit center, cost center, all this information you will update in this KDS document. So that I'm not supposed to depend on the other module consultant. I cannot say that I am waiting for the sales organization code from the SD consultant. Why are you waiting for it? Why you are not referring the KDS document? Your SD consultant will easily tell that I already updated in the KDS, which means you are supposed to look at the KDS document if you want to know the org structure of the organization, other naming conventions or parameters of your client. Inside the KDS, it is the common document. And if you go to roles also again same. Module wise, you need to create the roles. In FI module, how many roles you are creating? In each role, what are the tree codes that you are including? That you need to prepare. You need to update that here. For that, again, there is a different format from the basis side. In that basis format, you need to update the role. That role document is again the Excel sheet document. Go back. And UT document. If I go inside the UT, in UT also it is the same. Module wise, you are going to place all the user testing documents. In short, the unit testing document. From FI side, whatever the testings that you have done, you need to place all the testing documents here or the test scripts here. Similarly, for your UAT, you need to place all the documents here. You are responsible for FI and CO wherever you are working. Go back and user manuals. Similarly, on the user manual folder also, you will create different subfolders. In each of the folder, you will be creating your respective user manual documentation so that it is easy for the other module consultant or for your project manager, project coordinator to verify what documentation is pending, what documentation is completed, where we are currently at from the project progress point of view. So otherwise, everybody will have to ask the respective consultant, what is the status of this? Is this document completed and all? It is not the situation in any project. You will have to maintain all the documentation in the share folder whenever the document is ready. They will tell that by Monday we need to complete or by Tuesday we need to complete unit testing. So that's what I will inform you as a project manager or as a project lead. Now, as a consultant of your respective module, it is your responsibility to make sure that the testing is completed by Tuesday. And at the end of Tuesday, I want everybody to complete the testing and place the test document in the respective folder. This is what I expect because I will be having some other work related to this. I may be validating this or I may be sharing this to some other team or I may be updating this to the management that the unit testing has been completed. Okay, this is how you will be creating the documentation in any project. Now, this is in general your KDS document format which you will be preparing. And the other document, yeah, I'll create something like test script. This is the test script. This is the old format of test script. This is one of the format. Every company will have, every project will have their own format of the test script. In short, it is similar to like this in every project. Majority the similar content will be there. You will be mentioning the project name. You will mention the company code, profit center, vendor, document date, whatever is applicable, you will fill it here. And then you will have all the test cases. Let's say from the accounts payable, it is vendor master creation, whatever the T code that is supposed to be created. And you will tell the test result as vendor master has been created, actual result. Whatever the vendor code you created, you need to put that vendor code here, okay or error. If it is created successfully, you will put okay. Let's say I'll put some vendor code here. This is okay. And I will tell this is tested by Ajay. Similarly, vendor invoice creation. Like this, for all the different modules, you will have this information. From the asset side, AP side, AR side, you will find all the information. You need to create this information and you need to update this in the share folder, whatever is designed or whatever is created for your particular project. But as a FICO consultant, this is your responsibility. This test script is based on the BPML document. Now let me show you BPML document. This is a sample of BPML document. Okay, here you will find the business process master list. You will mention the current process. This is related to controlling. This is the system, whether it is related to ECC or S4HANA, the modules process, and then the business process. To make you feel more comfortable, let me open. If you look at this, this is related to your accounts payable or the finance processes. In finance, posting of sample document, what is the T code for this? And similarly, all this. Now, all these things you are going to use in your project for your client. Whatever the processes that you are mentioning, you are going to use it. Let's say post recurring entries or audit trail, reversal of a document, customer payment. You will be using F-37, F-31. Let's say reversal of the document, FBRA, reverse customer invoice document, FB08. Like this, for all the business processes, you will have standard templates available in every project. These templates we will be editing, we will be modifying according to your client business process, according to client business requirement. Okay, now from these transaction codes, whatever you find on the BPML, all these transactions related to BPML, you are going to test as a test script. Your test script is nothing but the data extract from your BPML. All the transactions from your BPML, you are going to test. You will create a test script. This is the old version of test scripts. Currently, you have a different version of test scripts, which are predefined, pre-delivered by SAP. There will be another BPML format also. This is example BPML. So this is another format of your BPML document. You will find master list, same thing, similar thing you will have. Process code and then the transaction in the respective process, whatever is used. This is related to SD. Okay, this is related to SD. Similarly, for your FI, you will have one BPML document. You have all the transaction codes and you will list here. What is in scope? Is this for create? Okay, integration and all you are going to mention. Consultant, owner, all the names will be mentioned. And for this documentation, you do not have to worry. All the projects will have the existing documents of that particular organization specific. You need to take the same document in the same format. You need to edit or you need to update the data related to your project. It is not something that you will create a own document of your own format. This is not the situation. You will take the existing formats, existing content from the project related to previous client or whatsoever. All this documentation will be shared to you by your project manager or somebody in the project. Of if you're talking about BPML related to FICO, you will get a reference BPML document of FICO from some other project. You just need to edit it, modify, remove the previous client name, put the current client name, remove the previous consultant name, put your name, remove the project name, update the project name, and look at the transactions based on the client business process. Whatever is not applicable, remove from it. Whatever is not updated in this, update it. In short, this is more or less the editing work which requires your process understanding. Just like that, you cannot edit the data. You need to make sure what information you're adding, what information you're removing, and the format you have to stick to. You're not supposed to create any innovations in the file, document, and all. In the same format as it is, just update the data. That's it. Okay, this is your BPML document. This is your test script. Your UAT is also same thing. The way you have the test script here, in the similar way you will find UAT. UAT is nothing but copy of your UT. You're just going to change the document name from UT to UAT. Otherwise, there is no change in the document of unit testing and user acceptance testing. Next one is your FS document, functional specification document. This is SAP standard functional specification document. Okay, if I click on this, this is the standard SAP FS document. Here you will put scenario, client name, business process, project name, client name, SAP project manager name, customer project manager name. This is project number, customer number and all. This is internal documentation. And you need to put author. If you are the FICO consultant who is writing this FS, this will be your name and this will be the document location. If you are storing somewhere, that you will mention, and the date on which you are preparing this. This is the final version of the FS document. If there are any changes in the document, you are going to update the version. This is called as version management. Version 1, version 2, you need to mention on what date it was changed, the description, what are the additional changes that you have included in version number 1, version number 2. Similarly, review and approval. Who reviewed this document? Who approved this? This information. This is at very high level. We will not be updating this much lengthy FS document, but if you look at this, you will be able to understand any FS document, any FS format in any organization. And next one, content. And this is all fixed content. In any FS document you will take, everything will remain fixed. You're not supposed to edit anything. Whatever is applicable, you will fill it up. Whatever is not applicable, you will not fill. Till here, whatever you have seen, we will not delete, modify anything except changing the client name, changing the consultant name, changing the date, changing the project name, changing the approved person. Apart from that, the remaining content will remain constant. And purpose of this document, this is also fixed content. Object overview. Here you need to put a checkbox whether this is a report, whether this is an interface, conversion, enhancement, form or workflow. Why are you creating this FS document? Because FS document, as we know, will be prepared for RICEF element or RICEF object. RICEF is nothing but this RICEFW. If it is related to report, you just tick report. Like this, you put report. If this is related to interface, you tick interface, so that the person who is looking at the document will understand, okay, this is related to report, this is related to interface or form or any other workflow. Object title, object description, all this naming convention you will put. If it is report, development of whatever the report, if it is related to any custom program transaction, any form that you are developing, the name heading that you need to update here. After that, this is the consultant name, first name, last name, all this information. And the requirement description, gap to be addressed, alternative SAP standard solution, wherever applicable you will fill. If it is not applicable, we will keep it blank, but you are not supposed to delete any information from this template. If this is not relevant, just you put NA, not applicable, that's it. But this is not relevant, I will delete this, that is not allowed. You are not supposed to make any changes in the format. You are only supposed to edit the data in the format as it is. Now, justification, functional description, design. Here you need to write, why are you writing this FS? What is the business process? What is the need that you need to mention? And dependency, selection criteria, any logic if you are giving, table name, field name that you need to input. I'll explain this by taking some examples. I will explain how you will fill it up, write a functional specification. I will make you understand a requirement of a report, of a smart form, of any conversion workflow. Then we will understand how you will understand the requirement first, because any custom development, any Z development, Z object, you will not be able to proceed further unless you freeze the requirement. First point is that you need to freeze the requirement. You need to close the requirement that the client said that this is what is our requirement. Once the requirement is freezed, that is where you are going to start your development. That is where you are going to start writing the functional specification. Now the discussions are still going on. Your client is not okay with the existing process. You started writing the functional specification. It is not the right approach, because later on there may be corrections that your client will come up with. These corrections may lead to unnecessary corrections in your functional specification document, or whatever you have listed may not be helpful at all. You may have to redo everything from the scratch. And if the requirement is not freezed, you have given the functional specification to the ABAP consultant. ABAP consultant had started working on it. Later on, there are certain changes. And if you tell your ABAP that these changes are there, we need to modify this, your ABAP consultant will tell, no, I cannot do it. I have already started the development. I have put almost 50% of my effort. The screen is developed, code I have written. Now this thing, I need to write the code again from the beginning. I cannot modify this. Now your ABAP consultant may simply tell that, he may simply put an email to you stating the development is almost completed. This requirement or the changes that you are proposing now will lead to a fresh development from the scratch. You will simply tell that I have already worked for 3 days on this development. Now the corrections that you are giving to me will lead to demolishing or scrapping of complete development that I did. I need to restart my work. Now in this situation, you will be questioned that why there is a change in the requirement now. You will be questioned why there is a change in the requirement now. Why did you give the FS? Why did you ask ABAP consultant to start working on it without freezing the requirement? Now these kind of a points you are supposed to be answerable if something goes wrong, because as a functional consultant, it is our responsibility to make sure we freeze the requirement. This requirement, whatever you are freezing, you will get an official email confirmation from the client that this is what our requirement, this is what we have proposed, this is what we are going to develop. Your client will tell, yes, as discussed, we are aligned with us. So after this email confirmation, if any change that your client is proposing, if any corrections that your client is telling, they are on the official note. They say that I want to change this, I want to change this. Yes, we will change it. Then you will put your remarks. We will consider these corrections. However, to make these corrections into consideration, we will have to increase our effort to 3 days. The effort estimation will go up or will be increased by 3 working days. Kindly approve, because all the developments are cost effective, because you will be charging your client for this development. When I say you will be charging your client for this development, I would have given the effort estimation for 1 month. Let's say 30 days effort I have provided. When I give 30 days effort, every day is some amount. Let's say 1 day, this is the charge. Likewise, per day charge or per hour cost multiplied by 30 days or multiplied by number of man hours. If you are giving me another requirement, if you are giving me the corrections changes, I will tell my effort estimation will be increased by 3 more days or 1 more week. Then somebody from your project or from the client side will have to approve. Okay, we are fine with this, please proceed. Then your bill, instead of for 30 days, will go for 35 days. You are ending up paying more for this development. So that is why changes just like that, left and right, as a consultant, I know it's a simple change only, you tell me, I will do it. You are not supposed to do it. Any corrections, once the requirement is freezed, you have got any requirement, if you know that for this you need to make the changes in the existing setup, first thing that you need to do is you need to discuss with your senior consultant or your project lead or project manager. As a consultant, you're not supposed to tell that, okay, these changes are considered, we will make these changes, because you do not know what is the agreement between the client and your organization, what is the tie-up with your project, what are the agreements and all. If it is something that based on every hour, based on every day you are billing the client, if the efforts are increasing, then the similar way you have to put this. Because nowadays what will happen, consultants will be working on multiple projects. I will be not working dedicatedly on a particular project. I may be working for 2-3 projects parallelly. Now, accordingly, I will be dedicating my work. If you are telling me that you have given me the FS at the beginning, assuming that I am the ABAP consultant, you gave me a requirement that to create a particular report or to create a particular transaction code to develop a particular workflow whatsoever, smart form. I did it and then I gave it for testing. Now I started working on some other project, some other object related to another consultant. Now you are sending me another email, dear Ajay, please make this change, please move it left, move it right and all. Then I will put an email, okay, please update the functional specification and then send it to me. So what will normally happen when you send an email to me, or you may be telling this to me offline. When I say you may be telling this to me offline, you may be pinging me or you may be calling me, Ajay, this I showed this to client. Client is telling some corrections are needed, some fine tuning. Can you please do this? I will tell, okay, I will do it. You please send me an email. Because tomorrow if somebody is asking me, Ajay, what are you doing? I am supposed to answerable that I am working on FICO object. You said that this is already completed. Why, which FICO object you are working on? Because whatever is happening on a particular project, everybody is aware. Every day we are working on any implementation project and all, every day we will have stand-up meetings, or every day you are going to have the team meetings or the status update calls. In that update calls, as a FICO consultant, you are going to provide the update. What is the progress, where you are currently working, what are the target dates. Similarly, from the ABAP side, they will also tell that from the FI side, there is a smart form which is already given for testing yesterday. So now we are going to work on some other SD related object. Now in between, you are coming up asking for a change again. If it is a small cosmetic fine tuning changes, that is fine. But if there are major changes in it, your ABAP consultant will simply ask you, please send me an email with the updated FS. Now in your FS document, you have something called version management. Earlier, you have given one FS document. Now you are asking the ABAP consultant to make some more changes. If it is within the same requirement, you are asking them to change. This is supposed to happen as part of your unit testing. But after unit testing, you are asking to give additional changes based on the client confirmation. You need to update the functional specification and then send an email to the ABAP consultant. Based on that, he will work. Now, in this case, you must be answerable that why changes are coming. If changes are coming from the client side, it is fine, acceptable. If changes are coming from your side, no, initially I did not understand properly. Now only I am able to understand this is the requirement. You please change this. Nobody will listen to you. They'll say that because of your incorrect understanding, because you're unable to understand, you're unable to provide the correct logic to the technical consultant, you're wasting your time. You're also wasting the technical consultant time. At the end, my project is not able to get delivered on time. I'm not able to meet the deadlines. I'm not able to submit the reports or whatsoever to the client as per the agreed dates. So that is why everything is properly monitored, and you need to make sure that nobody will ask you every day what is happening, what is happening. This is not like an end user. Nobody will ask you, is this done, what is the status? Nobody will ask you. If I am your project manager, I will tell that we have to complete this by Wednesday we need to give this report to the client. That is what I will tell, and I will not even check with you what is happening, are you working, not. I'm not going to ask at all, because I believe that you understand that we have to deliver to the client by Wednesday, and you will make sure that this is completed by Wednesday. And I am under an impression, if you are stuck somewhere, if you are facing any challenges, you will come up and then you will let me know that these are the challenges that we are facing. We need some clarification. There are some difficulties in doing this. We don't think with these difficulties we will be able to meet the requirement, or we will be able to deliver the requirement by Wednesday. If I am given a heads up at front in the beginning itself, then I will plan accordingly to schedule a call with the client. I'll tell that because of these difficulties, because of these challenges, we may be able to delay it by a day or so. If you inform your client well in advance, they will say, okay, no problem. Otherwise, from your client side, they also would have informed to the different people, maybe their management or the different business users, stating that from Wednesday, this report is available for testing. They would have blocked somebody's calendar for this testing and all. If you're giving at the last minute, they will not be okay with, they will blast, they'll escalate simply that why this was not communicated, if there is an error, why at the last minute you're telling this is not completed and all. So these things are not supposed to happen. This is because as a consultant at the entry level, what we feel that nobody is asking, which means it is okay, but it is not okay. In short, nobody will ask also. Everybody will tell at the beginning, you need to complete this. And they feel that you are understanding the requirement that you need to complete this so and so date and you will do it. If you face any challenges, the other person is under impression that you will let them know. But we are under an impression nobody is asking, I am fine. It's not urgent. I think nobody is asking any status. If it is urgent, they would have asked me every day. Nobody will ask like that. They'll only assign the task. They'll only expect the result from you. If there is any difficulties that you are facing, it is your responsibility. Now it is in your bucket. You have to take a lead and then go talk to the people that you are finding some difficulties with which you don't think that it can be completed. Then accordingly, they will find an alternative plan. Either they ask somebody to assist you, or they will try to see where we are stuck, what is happening. Based on the requirement, based on the client, they will take a call accordingly, whether to postpone it or whether to inform the client that this cannot be done tomorrow, we need one more day time. There are certain clients who will never listen to you. They say, if you want on Wednesday morning, it has to be there by Wednesday morning, no matter what you do. I don't care if you work 24 the whole night, you do night out, I don't care, I want this on Wednesday morning. I told you on last week, you promised me, you committed me that you will deliver it to me at Wednesday morning. Please give it to me on Wednesday morning. I don't want any excuses. I don't want any exceptions for this. Certain clients are like this, very strict. They are very serious on the deadlines. If you fail to meet the deadlines, the agreements are such a way that if you are unable to deliver it on this date, it will be free. We are not going to pay for it. So there are certain clients also, you will have different pricing agreements with the clients on the projects. So that is why when it comes to any work, especially if it is related to your area, make sure you act very smart, you are very proactive. It's not that somebody will ask me, somebody will tell me do this, do this. Nobody will tell you. At the end, everybody will point their finger at your side, stating that why did you not do this? All these kind of questions will come up. You must be answerable for it. Sometimes what will happen, you keep on receiving, somebody will tell do this, somebody will tell do that. Now when somebody is telling you to do this, do that, it is something that it is officially noted unofficially, which means when, let's say, I asked you to check on one report, I have to work on this report, can you give me some test case? Can you, in your free time, can you create 2 3 invoices and give me? I am working on some development, I need to test it. Then you thought that okay, he is asking, it may not be urgent. Now tomorrow if my issue becomes critical, if project manager is asking me or somebody is asking me, have you tested this? Then I will tell, no, 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 I asked Ajay to create the test data, let me check with Ajay. Now somebody is asking me, I am pushing it on Ajay. Now when I ask Ajay, Ajay will forget, when you told me this, I thought you were telling this to me casually. But I meant seriously. I was talking to you to provide a test data for my testing purpose. Now I am creating a dependency of my testing on you, but I'm not telling you that tomorrow if somebody is asking me, I'm going to tell your name. But when that situation come, I will pull your name, I'll pull your legs into the picture. Then they will tell that okay, what are you doing, why test data is not created? Then you will tell, no, no sir, no madam, I will create this now. Then you will sit and create it. Now who asked you to get into that situation? Because you took it light. When somebody is asking you something, either you ask how urgent it is, when do you want this information. They will simply tell, okay, I want some 2 vendors to be created, you create one automatic payment or you create one bank master, I need to do some testing. You will tell, okay, I will do it, no problem. Later on that no problem will become a problem, because you listen to there and then you will forget there. And that you do not know, when somebody will tell that, you remember yesterday I told you to create this? I don't remember anything. You are telling me, you are asking me to, you remember I told you this, we discussed this. No other go, you are senior in the project, I am junior in the project, I have to say yes sir. Okay, when this will be completed? You will tell today I will complete. You don't even know whether that can be completed in one day or not. You straight away start giving a commitment, I'll do it today. Are you sure you will do it today? Yes, I will do it. Okay, fine, no problem. Then they will tell, okay, no problem, not so urgent, you can do it by tomorrow, because I know that cannot be done by today, but you're committing me that you will do it by today. So that is why you will get additional time from the people. They know that it cannot be done within that time. because we try to apply our training mind, and then we will try to tell that, okay, I will do it today. Whatever they tell, can you do this today? Can you give this information? I'll give you today. Just give me 1 hour, I will do it. Or give me some time after lunch, I will do it. I'm going for a tea now, I will do it. I am attending a meeting, after this I will give it. After that, when you sit on it, you don't even understand what it is. And you have committed that by first half I will give, by second half I will give. And later on, again, you need to change your commitment that it is taking some time, I will give after some time. They said, okay, fine. But why we are getting into all these problems? Because we do not know practically what it is all about, how long it will take, whether the commitment that you are giving is right or wrong. Because according to us, if I'm asking you to create a test data, you will tell, okay, you create a vendor invoice. Okay, I'll create a vendor invoice. Which company code you will create? Which vendor you will take? And is there any specific scenario that I am testing, that I want a test case? That you have to put a question to me. If I'm telling you create a vendor invoice, okay, sir, I will create a vendor invoice. So now for my testing, I need vendor invoice to be created in a dedicated or in a specific category of vendors. That you are not sure, you have not even asked me. It is your fault. I told what is my requirement. Now, if you need a clarification on the task that I am giving to you, it is your responsibility to ask me whatever the confusions, whatever the clarifications, queries that you have. If you're silent, and then if you're telling, nodding your head for everything, yes sir, I will do it, then the other person understands that you have no experience. So wherever possible, we need to make sure that you you act smart, and then you talk as if you really have some experience. So otherwise, as I said, whatever they said, okay, I said yes. You remember yesterday I told you to do something. Yes sir, is this completed? You don't even remember what we talked yesterday, that you are telling, yeah, this is in progress, I am working on it. You have not even started working on it in reality. And later on, again offline, you need to come to me, sir, can you tell me what we discussed with me yesterday? I forgot. These are practically happening points, practically possible for everybody who enters the project. But nobody will say anything, but you need to make sure if these points are in your mind, you act accordingly, and then you will be proactive enough to handle things where you will not get into any trouble, where the other person feels that you are working good. They'll give you positive opinion or positive feedback about your work, that so and so candidate is working fine, I am fine with it, I'm fine with this candidate, this consultant, they're learning quickly, they're helping me out, all these points. Otherwise, what others will tell, this consultant is not understanding anything, everything I only have to do, I have to go and sit, and it's becoming a rework for me. So at one particular point, what will happen, let's say I am a new consultant, you are the senior consultant on FICO, project manager or somebody is telling you, please explain this to Ajay, he will test it. Then you may be seeing me multiple times getting frustrated. You may say that, no sir, I will only do it. If I tell him again, I have to rework it, there will be errors, mistakes, and then again I have to recheck. It's better I will complete from my side only, with it will not take much time. Now you feel that, as he is a very good consultant, he's helping me a lot, but at the end it is a negative feedback that I am giving on you. I'm telling that if you do it, it's again a rework for me, again I have to waste my time. Instead, better I only do it. So you're thinking that he is helping me, they are not, he is doing my work also, but it's a negative comment, a negative remark I'm giving on you. That we have to be smart enough to understand, because it is the same, the kind of a politics that you get when you work in everywhere, the similar politics you will get in SAP also, no exception. In fact, nobody would like to share the knowledge when you're in SAP. Everybody will say that if something goes wrong, they will tell that this is done by Ajay. I told Ajay to do like this. I told to do like this. No, why you did like this? They will put. If everything goes wrong, I will tell, I only told Ajay yesterday. He called me. I discussed with him for 1 hour. I only gave the logic. All these kind of points they will tell. So you have to be smart enough to handle and then to manage your work in such a way that you will not face any problems when you're in a project. Clear? All right, the remaining points, the remaining information, I'll explain in the next session. I'll have to get into another session now. Okay, I'm stopping this recording for now.